Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now today I'm super excited to share with you my first impressions with the brand new Samsung Galaxy A34 5G. Now just to get this straight, this is a first impressions video and not the full review. I'll be testing this device over the couple of next days and then the review will be out. So think of this as a first impressions as we get to know the A34 a little bit more and maybe find out who this device is really for. Let's begin. Alright, so first things first, I got to show you a very quick unboxing, just like always, with what's in the box. Naturally, with Samsung, you don't get a lot of stuff. Mainly, you get the phone itself, and you also get the Type-C cable. So those are the only things that you get in the box. This very slim box. Well, I don't want to talk too much about that, but let's talk a bit more about the phone itself. I have the phone right here, and my colorway is called the Awesome Silver. And my goodness, guys, the color actually looks very nice. Now, I'm not sure if you remember a couple of years ago, Samsung launched like one of the Note series, or was it the S series? There was this exact color on that flagship phone, and I think it looks perfect on the A34. Now, what I love about this A34 is the fact that we have this matte-ish back panel, whereas on the A55 we have that glossy back feel. So I'm always a fan of matte, so I'm super happy to see this here because it just feels awesome. There's no fingerprints, almost minimal fingerprints I would say, and it just looks amazing, guys. Let me know what you think about that. Otherwise, we also get like sort of the typical roundish kind of frame that goes all around. It's very comfortable to hold and it fits in my palm really well. Now, it's worth mentioning that with Samsung's latest Galaxy A series, the design is following their flagship models and it's getting more streamlined across all Samsung devices, and I think it looks quite great here, so that's cool there. Alright, so that's just in terms of the design. Let's talk a bit more about how the phone feels like to use. And to start that off, I need to talk about that display at the front. Now, we do have an improved display here compared to the previous A33, but there's one small thing that I don't really like and I want to highlight it right off the bat, and that is the teardrop notch at the top. Now, I did hope that we do have like a cutout notch, like just a circular one dot notch at the top, but we still have this teardrop notch, which doesn't look too too modern in my opinion. But otherwise, after using it for the rest of the day, I did not find that it wasn't bothering me at all. So that's just something that I wanted to point out. Otherwise, you are getting a very awesome AMOLED display here, just like with all Samsung devices. Their AMOLED displays are one of the best, and this time round, Samsung gave us a 120Hz display. So previously it was 90Hz, and finally we are getting 120Hz, which is so much more smoother. It makes the entire experience of using the phone just that much better. So it's all good there in terms of the display. Oh, by the way, it goes all the way up to 1000 nits, especially outdoors if you are under the super strong sun. So you shouldn't have any issues like just viewing content on the phone itself. Alright, so let's move on and talk a bit more about that experience. So we do have the Dimensity 1080 processor in here. Now, we're actually quite familiar with this processor. It's not to say like a flagship processor. Obviously, you guys know it is sort of like an entry-level mid-range processor, but it was definitely able to run everything very smoothly. Now, think of it this way. If you are someone who uses social media most of the time, you're browsing content like your Chrome, just watching a lot of videos and all that, this processor won't really affect your performance and all that. It's going to be great, it's going to be smooth. But if you are a heavy gamer, yes, you will be able to play games like Mobile Legends, PUBG, and even Genshin Impact for that matter. But just bear in mind that you might have to tune the settings a little bit lower to get a smoother gaming experience. So that's just, what I can tell you straight off the bat. This processor is actually meant to be more efficient. That means you can expect even longer battery hours. Other than that, we do have 25-watt charging since we are talking about the battery, but there's no charger in the box, so you got to get your own one. And last but not least, I think one really important and very strong point about the Samsung A34 here is all about those software updates. Now, if you are someone who wants to use your phone for many years, you don't want to change your phone like every single year. This phone, Samsung is saying that they will offer 5 years of security updates and 4 major OS updates, guys. So just imagine that you can use your phone for at least 4 years, or if you want to stretch it all the way to 5 years. And I think that is pretty crazy because these days, we are seeing a lot of new phones. And again, it depends on your personal usage. If you are the kind of person, like I said, who change your phone every 1 or 2 years, then perhaps you don't care about software updates. But me personally, I prefer to have constant updates for my software because it's just so important, and that's where the Samsung A34 comes in real strong. So that's just in terms of the software, guys. Other than that, the cameras at the back we do get the same 50 MP main sensor as the one from last year, the A33. There's also an ultra wide and also a macro lens, if I'm not mistaken. There's no depth sensor now. It's 3 lenses compared to last year's 4. So again, you know, they're cutting off the stuff that you don't really need. But yeah, I'll be testing out the cameras, you know, in a couple of days. I'll be sharing it with you guys. Definitely we're putting in the full review. But for now, you know, just in terms of the cameras, expect the performance to be similar to that of last year. Alright, so with that said, that's pretty much a very quick first impressions with the Galaxy A34. Again, just to sum up a very quick, you know, few items that I like. We have that 120Hz high refresh rate display. We have that awesome design. Again, check out how minimal this phone looks, guys. It definitely looks more premium than the price. Other than that, you also have that 5 years security, 4 years software update, and I think that's awesome. So yeah, if you have any further questions or if there is anything that you would like me to test out, you know, for the A34, please let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end. Just like always, don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do stay safe and take care, everybody. Oh wait, by the way, the price is RM1599 here in Malaysia, and yes, it is slightly higher than last year's, but then again, you are getting a couple of improvements over here. Anyways, yep, again, thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.